Today we're going to start a little bit about exponents, getting into algebra with this unit. And exponents are kind of the basis of things that we're going to do as far as algebra in this unit. So it's kind of a building block that we need to know to be able to do some of those more complex algebraic expressions. Look at all these big words I'm pulling out. Algebraic expression. Look at, oh man, you're impressed. I know, I can see it. All right, so we're going to talk about exponents, and exponents are very, very simple as long as you know your multiplication. Some of you hopefully know all of your multiplication, but it is simple. It does have a couple of things that sixth graders kind of get caught up on it every year that I've noticed, and we're going to try to work through those so you don't make those mistakes, because there are mistakes that are simple mistakes, but it can totally ruin the way that you do an algebraic expression if you don't know how to do it. So let's talk about exponents. That's the word. Yeah, easy for me to say, right? Okay. So exponents. Okay. And basically what an exponent is there's a couple things that we want to talk about. One of them is called the base. And then the exponent itself. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of an exponent, and then I'm going to show you what the base is, what the exponent is, okay? All right, this is an exponent. And the way that this is read, it is 3 to the third power, okay? Now, the base is the big number right there. That's the base. The exponent is that little number right there. Now, what the base is the number that we're going to be multiplying, because with exponents we're going to do some multiplying. The exponent tells us how many times we are going to multiply that base times itself. Okay? And saying that and showing you two different things. So it's easy for me to say, oh, okay, multiplying the base times itself 3 times. What exactly does that mean? So let me draw it out to you. What that means is I'm going to take the base, which in this case is 3, and I look at my exponent and it says, okay, you're going to take this base and you're going to multiply it times itself 3 times. So I'm going to write 3 however many times I have this number. And between them, I'm going to put a multiplication sign. And these two things are equivalent. They're equal to each other. Okay? So 3 times 3 times 3. So I know what 3 times 3 is. It's 9. Then I take 9 times 3, and that equals 27. And that's all you do. That's very simple. Now, here is the thing that sixth graders kind of get messed up on, is because of the way that we've been taught how to do multiplication. You take two numbers, you multiply them together, you get an answer. Well, what sixth graders usually do, and not all of them, but usually I run into this with quite a few kids every year, is they think that you take the base and multiply the base times the exponent. So instead of getting 3 times 3 times 3, they're multiplying just 3 times 3. Just the base times the exponent. Now, of course, that would be wrong, because if I take 3 times 3, that gives me 9, not 27. So there's the problem. So let me give you another example. One where the base and the exponent are not the same. So let's say I have 4 to the second power. Okay. My base, which is 4, that's what we're going to multiply together. The exponent tells me how many times I'm going to multiply the base times itself. So with this, I've got my base, which is 4, and I'm going to multiply it by itself 2 times. Now with exponents, you're always multiplying times the same number. The base is always multiplied by itself. That is why if you multiply the base times the exponent, you're going to get a wrong answer, because these are most of the time two different answers, or excuse me, two different numbers. Okay? So 4 to the second power, or 4 squared, is another way you could say it, is the same as 4 times 4, which is 16. Very simple. Do one more. Our base is 5. Our exponent is 3. 5 to the third power, or 5 cubed is another way to say it. Okay? All right. So I've got my base. That's the number we're multiplying times itself. The exponent tells us how many times we're going to do that. So I take my base, and I look at this number, and I think, okay, I'm going to have this base 3 times. Okay? And then I just work it out. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Okay? Now, at first, is what they're going to do is they're going to give you this, and they're going to ask you to put it in what's called expanded form. And basically, this is expanded form. Okay? So they'll ask you to put it in expanded form, and then maybe answer it. Okay? But they also may give you this. Let's erase this. They may do the opposite. They may give you the expanded form and say, hey, write this as an exponent. Okay? So they say, here's the expanded form, write this as an exponent. So all you do, you look, well, all these numbers are the same, so that's going to be my base. And then I just count how many times I see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many they show up is our exponent. And there it is. Pretty simple, right? So don't fall into that trap of multiplying these two together. And remember, expanded form is how many times you multiply the base times itself. That gives you the number. And it should be easy for you to figure out. Pretty simple, huh? All right. Till next time.